Hi, I am Harish Godeti and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the new thing that I am building. If you are following me on LinkedIn, you probably already aware of it. But what I want to share is I've been working with in the legal space for the last three, 4 months, and the first thing that I built is what we call as a do not bond. It's a platform for bond agencies to minimize or to eliminate a bad bond. So that's been a huge success. And now what I'm building is really for the law firms across, whether it is in the US or any other country. So this is really for law firms and completely AI driven platform. What I call it as like an AI OS for law firms. So it's called Veradium Practice Cloud. So I just want to share the details on what it is and what it solves if you own a law firm. And yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. So let's dive in. So after speaking with a couple of law firms that I was introduced to, what I really found is there are common problems, right? So one is the major one is I mean, if any business is losing revenue, that's the major problem, right? So for law firms, it's really losing new leads because they find the client, potential client, looks in Google, find you as the nearest law firm or whatever. They try to call you after hours and no one picks up the call, right? So the problem is, it's just for, if you think it's just a missed call, it's actually a missed revenue opportunity. It's just that most law firms do not quantify the amount, the into money or into real dollars, the missed calls, right? So that is one big problem. The second thing that I was informed, or that most law firms have, is their critical resources, or people who have to work on something more important, like the paralegals. They spend about 2 to 4 hours, processing all the voicemails, or processing all the intake forms and stuff like that, right? So into Clio, right? So that's busy work. That's not billable work, right? That's busy work that they're doing, and their skills for the people who are doing this work, then they're too qualified for it, and you're just wasting billable resources, right? So that's second one. The next one is about multiple calls during the work day. They keep interrupting the attorneys or the legal people in the office, and the calls mostly are, hey, what's my case status, what is happening, and all that stuff, right? So these regular general generic stuff that interrupts billable work. So as you're all aware, if you just take your focus out, it takes about x amount of time to get back in the zone, right? So that kind of stuff, right? And also what I was made aware is, there is a huge, I mean, as the law firms go, if we are looking at 2 to 10 attorneys, right, there is significant amount of document processing work that happens every week. And people spend about 10 to 20 hours just processing all these documents, right? So these are the common problems that we were made aware. You know, I think it is common to all law firms, right? So, and you probably have a solution for some of these things, like Clio. So Clio, from the law firms that I spoke, everyone is using Clio as their practice management solution. So, what Veradium Practice Cloud does is, it's not really building something new. It's really just hooking into the Clio platform that you are already using. So let's take a look at what Practice Cloud is all about. So let me show you. This is this is our page for Veradium Practice Cloud, and as you see, like the main theme is around this law firm, the law firm that never closes, right? So that's the real synopsis of everything that the AI agents take over when when real people are unavailable or real people are after the work hours, stuff like that, right? So and it is not just a one agent or stuff. It's actually a coordinated orchestrated platform with multiple agents that work together to deliver the results. So again, right now, as you see, so here's the system that I want to share. So it is a mix of six agents, all right? So which I'm building at the moment. It's not like it's all ready and it's done. So the reason I'm sharing it is I want to build it in public so I get the enough feedback, and there are law firms who are ready to use it. It's just that I want to share it with everyone so I get better inputs, and the platform gets better, right? So the first thing is really the intake agent, which is which will go ahead and answer every call 24 by 7. And if it is really about a new case, it takes all the information required and puts that record into Clio or MyCase. For right now, it works only with Clio, right? So Clio is our go to practice management system that we are integrating with. So the next thing is, while you are taking the intake, the biggest thing is you have to ensure there is, the attorney should ensure there is no conflict, right? So the conflict agent, what it does is it goes ahead and checks and makes sure that there is no conflict for this particular matter from your previous history, right? Because the AI understands your entire practice. It checks and lets you know if there is if there is a conflict. And we are not going to take the final call. There will be a review option for you to review and decide, but this will do the first initial check on whether there's a conflict for you to take this matter. The next thing is scheduling agent. Hey, when do you schedule a meeting with one of your attorneys and stuff like that? So the scheduling agent takes care of the whole thing, schedules, reschedules, Google Meets, physical meets, all that kind of stuff, right? So that is the scheduling agent work. Then you have the case status agent, which is basically, gives your team a ton of billable hours, over a month or a week or or a quarter, right? So it just basically goes ahead and explains all the case status. And then you have the document agent, which actually goes ahead and does all the filing for you, process the document, get all the extract files all that stuff for you, whether it is in Clio, whether it is you just need to make a record, or you just want to put it in a what do you call, in a specific folder, whatever it is, whatever the practice that you currently follow, this agent gets trained on it and does the job for you. Finally, the research and drafting agent. So typically paralegals and attorneys spend a lot of time on research, research not in the context of researching about a case. It's research that they get from either the discovery and all that stuff, right? So that you get, so it does all that for you, creates the first draft, and that you can review and enhance and scope it, and do all that stuff for to make the case stronger, right? So it's really it organizes everything together. So these are the six agents, right? Why you should, the next thing is why you should care, right? So it is entirely built on AWS, right? It is not stitched together, completely built on AWS. You get you can go ahead and test it for free. You can build it, we offer a free proof of concept, so you can test this platform for your practice, right? So it's not just stick together. It is built natively on AWS, and it actually integrates with Clio. So there is nothing that you need to do new. Everything is already in place that and works nicely with the Clio as well. So in a nutshell, this is like you don't change anything that you are doing today. You just go ahead and simplify your entire practice. And and before we speak numbers on what does it cost, or what is the ROI and stuff, all I'm saying is just go ahead and leave a comment if you want to give it a try. And then if you see the value in it, if you see if you can quantify what each of these things mean for your practice, then you will be able to understand how much you are going to save. And that's a great beginning. So just go ahead, give it a try. It's no cost for you and no obligation. We'll set everything up for you. Just give it a try and then see how it works. And if you are satisfied, and then we can have a blueprint on how to implement it for your practice. I hope this video is useful, and I'm so excited about the practice cloud because we already have a couple of law firms who are ready to jump in. And I just want to make sure everyone understands that there is a new AI platform that is being built just for law firms, and unlike any other that's out there today. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe to this channel.